When you're in love with someone in the beginning, you don't even see their faults. We are competing silently without even knowing what we are competing about. Hello, good evening once again. It's another beautiful moment on the Noble Woman Show. My name is Gabriela, and as you know, we seek to bring you interviews that would impact you and inspire you as we get into the lives of our guests. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Adwoa Restaurant, Gym and Spa. Our delivery vans and bikes are always on time. Cater for all events, wedding reception, bridal shower, birthday parties, and all other events.
When you want to eat at the right place or the perfect place to have a good health, it's Adwoa Restaurant.
Our ultra-modern spa with professional massage therapists.
My name is Prophet Azeke Asante.
Saturday karaoke with DJ Everlasting. Sunday live acoustic music with Ivo Manifest and our local dishes. And cool free in our jacuzzi. Locate Adwoa Restaurant in Accra behind Achimota Melcom.
Welcome back from the break. This is still the Noble Woman Show. The show is proudly brought to you by Sea Rhine Travels. If you need anything with regards to traveling, your air ticketing, your visa, anything you want when you have to travel, you can contact Sea Rhine Travels, Sea Rhine Car Rentals. If you're looking for a car to rent for that wedding, that occasion, that funeral, whatever it is that you need a car for, Sea Rhine Travels is available. My hair was styled by Lizzie Beauty Center. You can locate her at Mateheko, opposite 1+1, and you can contact her through the number on your screen. Today on the show, we'll be talking to this beautiful woman. I've been looking for her for a long time. She's a very beautiful person, sweet spirit, and she has a lot in her, and I believe she will share a lot with us today on the show. So today we'll be talking to Maame Adwoa. Welcome to my show.
Thanks for having me, Gabriela.
It's been a long time looking for
Don't
you.
do me like that.
Okay, you're an actress, you're a producer, you have your own kitchen, you're doing so many things. Let's first, we take it one at a time.
Sure.
What made you start acting? No, wait, when did you start acting?
All right, so acting, I think that was when I was in uni. And then I had a lot of, most of known directors, talking to me about acting, and they're like, oh, you will do so well, you have the looks and all that. But I was never really interested to put myself out there. I always wanted to be behind the screen, making the magic happen. So, because even though I was in uni and I was doing mathematical science, I was always writing. And I didn't even know I was writing professional scripts then. But I remember Jimmy Bangura, he's a director and then a singer from Sierra Leone. He saw my script. That was the first time I was going to produce my first ever movie. That was in 2009.
What was the title of the movie?
It was supposed to be My Bodyguard, and later on we changed it to Perfect Stranger. I was a bit temperamental, so the little thing I flip and I'm like, we cannot do it again. I was a child.
Okay.
So a lot actually happened back then. So then I had to go back to school because school has resumed. But right after that, I think that was 2 years later on, I got the idea for my TV show, My Home, which was on TV for like 7 years.
Which channel?
Was on Varsat then. Okay, so that was when the first time that I came on TV. I think before then I had done a couple of movies not willingly, because most of them was like almost a gunpoint. Like, you have to do this, but me try and do this, you
Okay.
know.
Were there movies you acted
I
in
acted.
and produced, or you just acted,
I acted.
but you didn't produce?
Then I had not produced my movie yet because I was still in uni, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So right after uni, I produced My Home. That's a TV show.
Okay, but have you casted Nigerians in your movie? At least one Nigerian
Yes,
movie?
yes. I think my first movie I did Rookie Sanda.
Okay.
Yeah, Rookie Sanda. That was the first time I worked with a Nigerian.
Okay, so you're acting, you're producing. Which one has made you money? Acting or producing? Which one has made you money?
Producing?
Producing made you more money than acting.
Yeah, producing.
Okay, you're a pastor's daughter, right?
Yes.
And you're acting. Is your father okay with it?
So, that's why earlier I said it was usually or mainly me. I knew where I was going to. From the early stage, I knew where I was going to. It didn't matter where I was coming from, but I knew where I was going to. So I was very selective, and that's the reason you don't see me in movies. If not, I mean, I have all the directors as my friends, okay? I remember once Frank Roger was asking me, Mommy, what are you scared of? It's like you're scared of something. You know, like, let's put yourself out there. But it wasn't just about, you know, acting, you know, just doing about everything to get the fame, and then it ends there. So for me, because of probably where I was going to, I was a bit selective.
Okay. So your father was comfortable with it?
Yeah, because he knew I wasn't going to be doing anything,
Yeah.
you know. Basically.
So you produce movies, you consult, you have a kitchen, and what again?
Then I have a clothing line, like what I'm wearing.
Whoa, I need one. Should have brought one. I'm taking this one. I just give you a cloth to put on, like me front.
Like shoving to my
Really, I come me. I say make a sabi.
Where one size fit all.
No. Me dear Kofi. So how are you able to manage all these things together? Running a kitchen, consulting, producing, because I know production is difficult. All these things, how are you able to manage it? What's your secret? Just give us something.
So with the kitchen, for some funny reason, for someone who was never in the kitchen, and then but ended up loving to cook, I don't know how it happened. Let's just say it's a gift. Let me clear.
So you never really learned how to cook?
No, I was never in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, me and family cooking kusi, but then the first time I cooked, my mom was like, okay, are you sure you didn't cook this meal? Yeah.
So now what can you cook? Can you boil water or you fry egg? Which one?
Okay, I'm not sure you're getting the point. I'm just saying that I'm that good when it comes to cooking.
Okay.
They are surprised because they know I never learned.
Okay.
Centered. Now, you ask a question about how this whole thing started. Partly curiosity, and partly I wanted to prove myself.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I started cooking when I was in uni. So I was doing mathematical science. Lunch, I realized the banks on the campuses didn't really have food. So I went to them, I sent a letter to them, and because of that, I opened an account with each and every one of them. So I said to them, okay, I'm going to serve you lunch. I can give you like menu to choose from, but I will plan a menu for you, and then I'll serve you. And they were excited about it.
Okay.
And that's how it started. And at a point, it took a toll on my health. I got someone to help, but I wasn't getting the taste the way I wanted it.
Okay.
So I had to, stop. And then when I was producing, that was 2011, 12, when I was fully producing, I realized that money was going, but it wasn't coming. So I said to myself, I needed something that, bring me like a daily income. So I thought of two things, because when I was in uni, I had a guy. So what I did was I buy fabrics and I'll go and give it to him, because I was just sketching. So I'll just give it to him. So let's make this bag. So we started making bags with African prints.
Okay.
But then the finishing wasn't too good for me. So I said to myself, you know what? I think I'm going to stop, and then later on go to China and then produce it in mass quantity, bring it down to sell. So I stopped then. So when I was contemplating what to do, it was between food, actually it was among food, travel and tour, and then clothing.
Okay. So you settled on clothing and food.
I settled on a coffee shop.
Okay.
which I opened on a Sprinters Road.
Okay.
And then something came up, and then it collapsed. Then I picked up on food. Then I picked up on clothing.
Then you have gone through a lot.
Exactly. So the reason I can consult for businesses that are not doing well.
Okay. We'll come back to that. We're still talking to Maame Adwoa, the beautiful movie producer. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Are you planning a trip? Or you're going for a holiday with a lot of destinations all over the world? Just decide on where you want to go. And see Ryan Travels will take you there. We offer UAE visa, air ticketing, tour packages, hotel reservations, corporate travels, and many more. You can contact Ryan Travels on 0264 623 091 or 0302 408067. You can email Ryan Travels at c.ryantravels@gmail.com. Ryan Travels. You pack, we plan. Welcome back from the break. This is still the Noble Woman Show. The show is proudly brought to you by Ryan Travels and Ryan Car Rentals. If you want to contact them, you can call them on 0264 623 091. 0264 623 091. And if you need a hairstylist to style your hair up like mine, for any occasion, if you need her to braid your hair, weave on, anything you need, home service, you can just contact Lizzie Beauty Center through the number on your screen. We are still talking to Maame Adwoa. Baby girl.
I love.
You've gone through a lot in business as an entrepreneur, because from what you're telling me now, it's you just, I would just see you as an entrepreneur. You tried this, you failed, you bounced back, you tried that, you failed, you bounced back, and now you have settled on what you actually want to do, and you're doing it so well. What were some of the challenges you encountered, and how did you overcome it?
All right, so as an entrepreneur coming out, it was difficult, but I think the passion was strong. And the passion was not just about me. Growing up, anytime I'm just like, I'm by myself, I'll always be praying, oh God, please make me a mother to all, a mother to many nations. I want to take care of people. So for that reason, I always felt I have to do something, because if you're going to be a mother, your children need to see you doing something that, builds them up, that tells them it's possible. I remember I used to tell myself that I was reading a book, like I loved reading, so I was reading a book, and it was that the sky was just too big for two birds to clash. So I'm like, yes, I have my spot. So there was all this innocence and then purity that went with it. But the main issue, the main challenge that I faced was health. Okay.
What health issue did you have? If you don't mind telling us.
So a lot.
Like what?
So not just one. So it's a lot. So I had pulmonary issues, which is breathing and
is it asthma or what?
So it was sort of asthma, but it was intense than asthma. And then not just that, I had a lot of complications here and there. So it was difficult. So what that's why at a point I said the reason why I did a lot of the things that I did was to prove myself, because I wanted them to know that I'm not a sickler. I think when I'm well, I can do something.
Well, were people talking about your sick?
They didn't want to associate with me.
Why?
A lot of people loved me from afar because they're like, oh, that cute pretty girl and all that.
But because of your sickness.
When they got close and they realized that she can't party, she can't do a lot of the things.
Okay, you had a pulmonary.
So let's just say asthma, but then it wasn't asthma.
Like something higher than asthma.
Yes.
And what again? I want to know, please. And what again? I want to know what it is that will push people away from
you. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you this. So we are even just to talk about just the asthma, okay, and how it really interrupted my life, I'm sure you would appreciate that. You wouldn't even want to go into the rest. Now, this is what happens. I'm with you. You are talking. I start laughing. The next minute, I open my eyes. I'm in the hospital.
Whoa. Whoa. How long did this happen?
So, apparently, so I was told, I wasn't born in Ghana. So when I was brought to Ghana, I was told the first time I felt sick was when my body lotion got finished, and then they started using whatever they found, and then my skin, started, coming up like with poured hot water on me. Okay, so the first doctor who saw me was like, "Wherever you brought this girl from, take her back, because she's really gonna have issues." And then and it happened. So I there was a point my hair was falling off, and we didn't know what it was.
Whoa.
Okay, we tried so many. So you know how it happens. If they can't find it, they'll give it a 10.
Whoa.
You get
What at what age? How old were you by then?
So all these things started when I turned about, so I was in Ghana, so I was about 9 going into 10, 11 thereabout.
Like when you were a child?
When I was a child, so that was when it happened, and then it was a bother. So the thing is, people were scared if they are with me, I might die on them.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so how did you take it as a child? Did you feel bad about yourself?
So the thing about me, I think I was growing up, I was a bit rude, and then I was too confident for my own good. Okay, so before you think, or I think you're going to think, I have thought. So before you say you want to be my friend or something, I'm already frowning, like I don't want anybody around me. But it was just a shield I was creating, because I didn't want you to come in and then you see all my weaknesses and you're like, oh, so beneath all this is it.
Yeah.
Because it happens at the times that you don't expect it to happen. Okay.
But is it still there now that you're an adult? Do you still experience it once in a while?
It's controlled. So you spoke about how I overcame it and all that. Going into business, failing, starting all over and all that. It wasn't because I wasn't competent. It was because of health. And I know, because I remember I gave a speech somewhere, and then a lot of the women were crying. Apparently, some of them had issues that they couldn't talk about, and it made them feel they were incapable. They felt they couldn't be a certain somebody that they wanted to be because of what they've been through. I've asked so many questions. I remember once I was in my daddy's studio and I was studying. I was asking him, "Daddy, why me?" And he asked me back, "Why not you?"
How did your parents take it?
So my mom, for instance, I have seen her cry countless number of times. I'm told, okay, I was unconscious. I don't know how. So I'm told that there was a time she actually took me to the church, and then she left me there. A Catholic church. She just took me there and left me there, and said, "Okay, you gave her to me. So if you're saying that this is how she's going to live her life, then I can do this. Take her back." Apparently, I had passed out, so she didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So we all have our stories. Okay, so I've heard people talk about.
I just want to know if it's still there, or it has reduced, or it's gone.
It's reduced.
So now that you're an adult, does it still come when you are in an open space, or when you least expect it, or
No,
now
it's not,
you
it's not like
control
before.
the
No,
time
it's
it
not
comes?
like
Or
before. God has been good, and as so how I overcame it, and then how it got better. So medication and all that, but at a point I came to realize that majority of it depends on me. Do I accept it for what it is? Do I deny it? Because I think most of the time I was living in denial, so I'll never carry my medications. Because sometimes I'm even too shy to use my medication. So before I realized, I'd passed out. So I got to a point where I had to face it and know that, okay, let's just say this is how you were made to be. How do you want to live your life? Okay, so what if I was born without legs? And I still have all this energy about business. I want to motivate people. I have all this passion about seeing people do well. Am I going to wallow myself in self-pity and watch others go on while I'm still, going to, do something regardless of legs or no arms? So I looked myself in the mirror and said to myself, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I know one day I will wake up and then the God that I believe in has healed me totally, or the manifestation of his healing has come to pass totally. But until then, I'm going to live my life. Okay. So I remember very well the day I said that to myself. By the time it was evening, I was sick already and I was in the hospital. That was one of the funniest moments in my life. But even in all of that, it was during those times that I got the most insane of ideas. That if I tell you that, okay, I think you should do this, within the next 6 months, you're on your way to something because that particular thing will work. So I never saw it as a curse or as a bad thing totally. I took consolation in the fact that, well, when I come out, I do better than those who have been doing consistently for how many years?
Okay.
You get what I mean? So I think it was mostly, it was my willingness to see myself do well. It was my willingness to overcome it, not to let the sickness overshadow me or let the shortcomings overshadow me. I tried to rise above it. It wasn't easy, trust me. It's never easy, especially when people are telling you that your brother is a prophet, your uncle is this, your father is this, your whatever is this. So how come they can't pray for you and all of a sudden they feel they have faith and they are kabo all over you and
yeah, I can imagine what people will say about your father. Because he's a pastor and
exactly.
He's not, they'll say he's not.
It's not just that. So my brother is a prophet that a lot of people know. So it's it's
How did the whole family take it? Did they hear some of the comments?
Oh yeah, of course you will hear comments.
So how did they take it?
People asking you, so what are people doing about this? You know how people feel that you are just there, you're not doing anything, and then you're like, okay.
Nti mobane tifia muntumi nye bibia amboa no na mobon paye ma amanfo you know that thing.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing, in my family too, we have the gift of herbal healing. So it even becomes more difficult then. You get what I mean? But in all of this, I never saw myself as a victim.
But what you think that the cause of all these things was the fact that you came down and it changed your body cream? That's what you think?
Oh, no. I'm saying that was the first time I ever felt sick.
Okay.
It wasn't because
So what did the doctor say was the cause of all these problems? Was it hereditary or you were born with it?
Nobody in my family has anything.
Were you born with it?
No, I wasn't born
so
with
it.
So
where from it?
So you would, to find a medical term, they have terms for it, but I don't think I want to go into that right now.
Okay.
To be very honest, I don't think I want to go into that right now. But all that I can say is, whatever that I have been through, it's made me a better person. It's made me a more compassionate person. It's made me it's made me more sober. It's made me see people in different lights. It made me appreciate people's ups and downs. And the most important part is I don't see people, or I just don't look at them at face value. Okay. So I see you and I try to look beyond you.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yeah.
I try to look beyond you. I don't just see,
Yeah.
Beautiful Gabriela sitting down, most reverend, I don't just see that. It's made me a bit more forgiving. Because if I had grown up the way I was as a child,
you'd have been rude.
I couldn't contain myself.
Okay, because you were all full of yourself.
So full of myself. I was all over the place.
God would have slapped you.
Oh, he did. He did, but it wasn't to spite anybody.
It was for your own self.
It was just because, I'm sure, there was a movie I was watching, okay, and I think it made a lot of sense. So this person is so rude, she wouldn't say sorry, she won't do this, she won't do that, but her sister is the opposite. And the people complained, and the sister said something. The people were trying to say, God will be upset with you. And the sister said, God will understand because God made her, and I'm sure God knows how she is.
God knows how she feels.
You know, I had terrible anger issues, and through it all, I realized that it got better. I take a minute before I react, because you might just not know. Because there are times I'm just going through, like I'm having pains and I can't talk about it. So you're talking to me like, and listen, it cost me relationships. I'll tell you this, it's cost me relationships because I couldn't verbally say that, okay, not now because I'm feeling this. I'm like, and they feel Maame is snobbish.
Yes,
Maame
definitely.
is this.
This is Africa.
Maame is that. Nobody takes the time to understand what's going on, because if in the heat of the moment you are not as hyper as they want you to be, they write you off. And for me, trust me, I don't care. Because I keep saying that there are people you just know that no matter what, they're going to need you again. So I'm like, okay, you're just having a break, you come back. And they always do. About 89% of the time, they always do come back. So I keep telling people, I'm one person that, especially if I am good to you, I pray for you. Don't hurt me. For your own sake, don't. Okay? Something else I was going to share with you, which I probably would leave for another time.
It looks like you've been through a lot, and you can say something to somebody right now. Somebody going down right now.
Yes. I think I would not know it all. Okay? But then this thing I know, that if you are willing enough and you persist enough, it gets better. If you are willing enough to hold on a little bit longer, it gets better. If it seems that there's so much darkness around you and you do not know what to do, trust me, if you are to just quench your eyes a little bit, you will know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, I know it might seem like it's a cliche, light at the end of the tunnel. I've heard that a number of times. But trust me, there's some truth in it that you need to experience for yourself. Now, life is an experience. Enjoy the now. Don't wait till I did it to myself. Listen, I was waiting to live tomorrow because I knew I'll be well tomorrow. And that tomorrow never came anytime soon. Because consistently for like 20 years, consistently, the most breathing period I had was, say, 5 days without not being in the hospital.
So you're always in the hospital?
Consistently. All right? So if I tell you that it gets better, yes, I probably might not have been through financial challenges like most people have been through, but trust me, what I've been through, if we are to, tally it,
money cannot buy it. Money cannot heal you.
Exactly, and God has been so good. So I don't care what you believe in. Just know that it is possible, and the possibility starts with you believing in your higher self, which is whether it's your spirit or your soul. So you just need to know that nobody can bring you down until you bring yourself down. Nobody can tell you can't do it until you tell yourself. Immediately you say that it's over, then it's over.
Okay.
But if you say that I can hold on a little longer, trust me, it gets better, and your story will get more better and then more interesting for others to hear. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing you can't do. So I guess that's a little I have to say.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For coming. No, I'm not supposed to thank you because I struggled getting.
I already said you're welcome.
I've taken it back.
Okay, I take back my
Anyway,
welcome.
thank you so much.
All right, love.
It's been an amazing time here today on the show. My name is Gabriela. The show was brought to you by C-Rhine Travels and C-Rhine Car Rentals. My hair was styled by Lizzie Beauty Center. You can locate her at Mataheko, opposite 1+1. And if you want her for your home service, she would also be available anytime that you need her. Thank you so much for staying with us today on the show. See you same time next week. Bye-bye.
Boop.